Welcome to the second episode of Real Reviews. Our first inaugural episode, we opened up with the QI35, and today Callaway is on deck with the brand new Elite series coming in 2025. So let's get into it. So what's different this year in 2025? Callaway has made some bold claims. We'll start with, they say that this is bridging the gap to no weaknesses, meaning in the past you had to give up forgiveness for speed or give up speed for forgiveness. They believe now they are much closer to having an all-around package, which is a very, very bold claim to make. One of their first big claims this year is the fact that they are 1.3 miles an hour faster on the club head speed and 2.1 miles an hour faster on the ball speed, equating to about 7.1 yards of increased distance from previous models. The material of the club this year is a thermo-forged carbon that's been used in aerospace. This is something obviously lighter, stronger, faster. The biggest thing they did this year, and they changed that I noticed from reading and researching about it, was they invested millions of dollars in this 3D printer. Why does 3D printing matter in golf, you may wonder? It is because these companies test and tune different prototypes and different heads. Callaway says in previous years that they were able to crank out about 3 to 4, maybe 5 prototypes in a product cycle, which would equate to about 0.2 miles an hour of increased club head speed just because of the lack of tune and testing. This year with the 3D printing, they say that they have been able to test and tune 75 prototypes. That is a big difference. They say that they have been able to skip several product cycles because of that one reason right there. And this is titanium printing. This means those heads are actually the same standard. So with that advantage, they are able to make this club more aerodynamic than clubs in years past. So we have 4 models this year in 2025. We have the Elite, the Elite X, the Elite Max Fast, and then the Triple Diamond. But the looks of the club, I am very split on. The bottom of this driver, I'll just say it, it looks cheap. It looks cheap. The top of the driver is a home run for me. That matte carbon look looks great. The matte top line, it's not a glossy top line, it's a matte top line with the Chevron logo. Looks phenomenal. I wish that was on the entirety of the club, but in all honesty, if I had to pick one side that I wanted to look good, it would be the crown, because that is what's down by the golf ball. Speaking of the crown, there is one difference this year, the Triple Diamond. The Triple Diamond no longer has the same look as the other models. It has a all glossy crown. I don't know why though that we went with a different profile on that club head, because the top of the crown on the rest of the clubs looks phenomenal. All right, next category, we're getting into the feel. Now in the feel, I am going to include sound in this. So I'm going to play the clips of the sound first of the 2 drivers of the Elite and the Smoke, and then talk about that aspect of the driver. All right, so you can tell that the drivers have a much different sound. The Elite this year has a higher ting to it, and the Smoke had that more of a dead knock crack to it. That's a complete and total preference. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm somewhere in between. I've never been one for sound too much off a club anyways, but it is definitely different this year, but I don't hate it. So for the first score of the video, we're gonna go on the looks. Drum roll, please. 7.8 is our first official score for the review in terms of looks. This is okay. This is not great. When it comes to the scale of what I tested, 7.8 is somewhere around average. The reason why I came to that number is the top of the crown to me is like a 9.3, 9.4. Like it's my favorite driver looking from the top down in a while. But on the bottom, it's like a 6.5. So we meet in the middle around 7.8. The next score that we have going on is feel. So in terms of feel, I'm gonna give this club an 8.6. It's a very good score. I felt like through all my testing that it did exactly what I thought it would do. When it would come off, it came off the same way. It definitely felt like no matter where I hit the face, it was like a giant safety net. It just felt like no matter where I hit it, it had a chance. Now granted, you still can hook it, you can still slice it. That's not gonna fix everything. But yes, this was a very, very good feeling face. Much improved, I feel like, than the Rogue ST, than the Paradigm, and then the Smoke. They're very much similar in feel. So in the performance side of this video, I want to go ahead and clear up a couple things. This test was done with the same shaft on every single club head. This is my personal shaft that I have used in my Smoke and previous models. Number two, in this performance part of the video, you'll notice that this is all uncut. I left my bad strikes in here because I want to be as transparent with you guys as possible. I'm not doctoring up numbers, not faking any numbers. It is what it is because I want to give you guys the best and truest answer that I can. All right, so now we have the gamer. I play a 10.5 triple diamond Smoke in a 65X Flex blue Tensy. That shaft is used throughout this entire video. With this, luckily I hit my gamer as advertised, kind of normal. I didn't do anything crazy when I was testing this. So I hit it well. I thought it was a very good average standard to compare against. When I hit it previous times, I felt like I did the same thing, that it was, you know, it's been my gamer, right? So it's pretty good. And to anybody in the comments that says, why would I compare anything to my gamer? Would you rather me grab a ladies flex off the shelf and then make it seem like this club is just 10 times better? No, you wouldn't. I would want to compare it against the best that I possibly can. Once again, to see if it's something that's worth spending time and money on. All right, so now we're getting into the Elite, and you'll notice that this is all uncut footage. This is to be as transparent as possible. You'll see the timestamp in the bottom of the computer screen, and I did not cut any shots out. This is all in one session in one go. So as I hit the Elite, the one thing I want to make clear, once again, this is the same shaft, the same setup, the same loft. I could not make this more close in testing. I don't know how to make it closer in testing. So as you can see through here, I start out pretty dang good. We get a good ball here at 290, 308. That's definitely more carry. With the Elite, I was definitely hoping to get some better spin rates out of the club. With my Smoke, I felt like my triple diamond Smoke was pretty low spin, so I wanted something to spin a little bit better to get some better carry distances. So you'll notice in the first 5-10 shots of this that was hitting it pretty good, but wasn't just catching it great, which I thought was super impressive, that I was not hitting this club awesome and still getting really good performance out of it. Oh yeah, there's a little left, almost missed the ball pull right there. There's a pretty good ball, 168. Hitting this in real time, I was really impressed. I mean, I felt like I could do no wrong, which is a really good feeling when you're hitting driver. All right, and the last 3 swings, you're going to see that I definitely put better swings and better strikes on the ball. It was 119, 175 ball. It was a mile to the left, but I started to square it up a little bit better on the face. I shut it there. So 175 ball, 118. This was an awesome ball. This is one that to me was a very telltale big sign of some huge differences. Another one at 175, 118.
So good.
Those last two balls felt like really good, just good balls.
That's freaking good.
So now we're into the Elyte X, and as you can tell, and you're going to see with this driver, it is left bias. As somebody who hates a left ball, this is my worst nightmare come to life.
There's the draw bias.
Yeah, the one thing with this club in this series is I would sum it up as advertised. It definitely lived up to the standards in which I would hope when they make the bold claims that they have with this Elyte X. It's a left bias driver. It is a left bias driver. So I don't spend too much time hitting it in this particular session, just because I hit it previously and got the same stuff and hit this well enough that I felt that it was about par for the course. No pun intended. But I didn't want to spend too many balls hitting it and getting myself exhausted on hitting models that I'd already hit well, and they're kind of what I would not play anyways. So now we move on to the Elyte Max Fast. I'm really, really excited about this head. I teach full-time, and so I teach a lot of seniors, a lot of women, a lot of even juniors that don't have the club head speed, right? So to get a club that is definitely higher launching, like you can see this one's at 12, it's higher spinning at 24, even on a big left one. This is really, really exciting to me because I feel like I'm going to have a club to fit some people into. Like this one right here was 170, launched at 13. 145 feet in the air and 3,427 RPMs to spin. Once again, it's as advertised. Like these two clubs, these two models do exactly what they are backed by. So, I mean, just it's impressive that everything that I hit was exactly as you would expect for them to have. All right, so now we are on to the triple diamond. And shockingly enough, this was my least favorite of the models that I hit. I don't know what it was. It felt heavier. They claim that it's the same material in all the heads, but for some reason this felt heavier. Obviously the spin rate's lower. It does its job. But for me personally, I'm probably going to move to the standard model this year because I feel like the performance and the ball speed and the forgiveness is there to where I don't know that it's worth playing the triple diamond head. So it does its thing. I did not love this triple diamond head. It could have been just how I hit this. I didn't hit it well, but it didn't feel great at the same time. I even later on after I filmed this went back to my gamer, and my gamer felt better than this triple diamond head. So if you're thinking about the triple diamond head, I would take some time to maybe test and see if the regular standard version is not for you, because I mean I just don't see the value. I don't see the value, and if I can hit something as fast, if not faster, swing it faster and get better forgiveness, why would I not play that? Just because the spin rate's being lower. So that was the triple diamond. Did not love it. And next we are going to move on to the AI smoke. All right, so this is the smoke. This is the one that we wanted to test and see against to see if it is truly living up to the claims. When I went back to this club, I hit it. It felt great. It felt just like it did as it did all year last year. So luckily enough, I hit this well enough to where I felt that this was a very strong standard to test against. And man, the smoke smoked. It just did its thing. Yep. I hit this club great. If you have a smoke, I mean, It's great. This was a great driver. I loved it last year. I thought it was a home run with looks and performance and feel. So I was super skeptical this year. Actually, going into it was like, man, it's going to be hard to beat the smoke. The one thing I will say is, man, I wish they would have just taken the looks of the smoke and just made it matte black like they did with the Elite and call it a day. I mean, it looks so much better than the Elite on the bottom. Don't know why they wouldn't just say, hey, you know, we're gonna go black matte all the way around the crown. But it did as advertised for sure. So my score on the performance of the Callaway Elyte is, drum roll, 8.8. Here's why I made this a much higher score. So year to year, as a teaching professional, I teach and I fit people. And every year I've seen these drivers come through brand new every single year. And then when you hit them, the difference is maybe better, but it's such a small incremental piece. I am giving this an 8.8 because from the smoke to this year, I felt like that increased a larger amount. Does that mean you need to go run and throw your smoke in the trash and snap in half? No, by any means, no. But I do feel that it is worth noting for Callaway and acknowledging Callaway for finding a way to improve a decent substantial amount in just a year's time. I feel like the 3D printing thing is ingenious. I feel like that's going to have a great impact on clubs down the road. So good on Callaway for doing that, and I want to give them a high score for that. So 8.8 is very, very, very strong, but I do feel that it is backed. I mean, you can see in the review and in the numbers, I've been impressed with it as I've used it. So 8.8 is where we're at. So with the final score being 8.4 for the final score for the Callaway Elyte, a very, very good score. I wanted to give them credit where credit is due on the performance because it is very tough year to year to see the difference, but it is a better performing club. It is as advertised. That is the word that I would use. So does this mean you should go out and buy this club today? I don't think so. I know that's a harsh thing to say, but once again, with the price being $600 and $650, is it worth going and spending that much money into? I don't think so. I feel like if you have a well-fit shaft and driver head in the last 5 to 7 models, it's going to be hard to see enough difference to justify it. For the Elite, it is as advertised. They made these bold claims. It seems to back them up very well, and just a very, very good driver that was made this year. So it's definitely going to go in my bag. I'm actually going to swap from the triple diamond to the standard model because I was so impressed with it. So that concludes our second episode of Real Reviews for the Callaway Elyte. Thank you for sticking around and thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, leave a like, all the stuff they tell you to do. Appreciate you watching, and keep your eyes out. Subscribe, and just know that God loves you, and have a blessed day.